Okay, so the Ebike's finished. It's working. Today I went and picked up an ammo can. It's I forget exactly what caliber. I think it's 50 cal ammo can. It should fit the dimensions of the battery perfectly. Here it is. Below it is the battery bag. Inside it is the battery and the battery management thing. I intend to make a template out of this. Go like that. Just throw it around it, cut it out, and that will give me the shape I need for this little bugger, which is where my charger goes. Speaking of charger, here's my old charger. There it is. As I told you guys when I plugged it in, the fuse blew. So I put a new fuse in there, and then the rest of it blew. That broke. It looks like this connection here split apart. So looks like I won't be salvaging this 3 amp charger. Instead, I am stuck with my 1.5 amp charger for 48 volt SLA battery. I have a 48 volt Life PO2. So yeah, that's it. I will drill some holes for that and cut it up and make sure the wires can go in there. I'll mount it to the bracket. I'll probably do this later on tonight as I don't sleep, and it'll give me something to do. So I'll see you in a couple hours. Toodles noodles. Alright, so here we are, midnight, and as I suspected, no sleep. This is like, what, hour 55 of no sleep? But that's alright because I got stuff to do. Here is the ammo can battery holder, battery box. It's just been mounted to my rear rack. Somebody's freaking out outside. Got this at the Army Surplus store. This was $18. But, you know, it's good steel. It's not a plastic toolbox. So when I crash, not if, but when, I don't have pieces of plastic in my face. Instead, I have metal. Yeah, as I was saying before, the battery fits in there perfectly. I have taken, what you're seeing here is some of the packing material that came shipped with my hub. I have cut it in half. It's pretty obvious. It didn't do a very good job, but nobody's going to see it. It's going to work. And I secured it in there, and on the bottom part as well. Here's my controller. I've shoved it in between the fender and the rack. I hope that I will mount it properly, but for now it's a permanent temporary fix. As long as it works, I probably won't change it. You know, you spend like $800 on the battery and the hub when you include the ridiculous shipping, assuming you want to get it in, you know, a couple weeks as opposed to a couple months from China. And then you go and you do something like this. Or I go and I do something like this, and I just let this flop around and kind of hope it doesn't fall out. But I don't know. There's no reason to say but. Okay. I'll finish this up, and hopefully we'll see a working result. So, later. Alright, so it's coming along. I have drilled the hole for the positive and negative wires running from the controller, which will run into the battery. I need to put a rubber grommet around there, or probably better, some sort of sealant glue to make it waterproof. But in attempting to deburr this, I removed the burrs, and then I sharpened the crap out of the metal here, because sharpened one side and the other, and we have a nice point. So, go me. I made it. Where'd it go? Took this here, and I put it like that, and I took a marker and I drew around it, and I made sure to cut just a bit above my lines because this is a bit oversized. And much to my surprise, so yeah, I get my Dremel out. Lithium powered Dremel. Saved my butt many a days. Got the cutting tool. And I cut this out, and much to my surprise, it actually fits, and it fits really well. Just some slop, but not too bad. I'll drill the holes for this. I'll remove some of these burrs, and I'll see you in a bit. Bye. Here we are still. As you know, we drilled our holes, cut this hole for the plug with the male plug. I did not have the proper nuts for these tiny little screws, so I found an old tap and die set, and I made actual screw slots. Now, for the bummer part, this wire, as I've already complained, when I first picked it up and that was originally attached to it, it fell off of my hands. It fell apart. Inside this, underneath this protective covering, is the tiniest, most fragile wire known to humankind. It is supposed to be pushed through the eye of this plug and wrapped around, but the edges of this plug or the connectors are enough to split that wire in two. Even no matter how I've doubled it up, tripled it up, and even doing that, simply twisting it makes it fall apart. It's ridiculous. But that's what I've got to work with. I will wrap it around. Hopefully it'll stay. I'll put some heat shrink on there, and that should make it strong enough to be a little malleable. We'll see. I'll go ahead and do that, and I'll see you then. Alright, so we're almost finished with this plug, at least. Here's that tiny little wire. I don't even know if you can see it. It's a mess of wires now because I've smashed it around so many times. Here's my heat shrink tubing. On there pretty good. You take a lighter, and don't try to set it on fire, but you'll want to heat it up with that heat shrink. And I'm probably going to burn my hand. I might want to shut the camera off so you don't make an ass of myself, but I'll give it a shot. And burning commencing. Just kind of got to wave it around it, and then it starts to suck up. And I did a shit job. More heat.